Hey everyone, I'm James from CloudOpsCentral. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a secure S3 bucket, which I will be using for my CloudFlix project using AWS CloudFormation, following cybersecurity best practices every step of the way. In the last video, we did create an S3 bucket using the console, but from here on out, most of the tech videos will be using IaC or infrastructure as code. This video is going to be a little bit longer, and it is going to assume that you're already logged into the AWS account. Now, before we actually go through and set up our S3 bucket using IaC, infrastructure as code, let's look at some of the reasons why we might want to use IaC. The first is speed. With IaC, I or you can deploy infrastructure in minutes, not hours, whether it's in one environment or 10. The second one is consistency. We might also call it standardization. IaC ensures every environment I build or we build is exactly the same. No human errors, no forgotten steps, no misconfigurations. The third reason is security. Security is built in, it's not an afterthought. Security settings like encryption, versioning, and least privilege roles are baked right into the template, not added later manually or after we have an intrusion. The fourth one is documentation that builds itself. My templates are the documentation. Anyone on the team can read it, understand it, and deploy it. If for some reason I'm out or I'm transferred to another job and somebody else needs it, it's easy to use. Easier rollbacks and cleanups. If something breaks, I can delete the stack and everything is moved cleanly without leftover resources or hidden costs. The sixth one is audit friendly and trackable. IaC integrates beautifully with GitHub. Every infrastructure change is version controlled, reviewed, and auditable. And finally, disaster recovery or resilience. If AWS deletes everything tomorrow, I can redeploy my entire environment from scratch in minutes with IaC templates. A little bit of a mouthful, yes. IaC isn't just about speed. It's about building reliable, secure, scalable environments that any cloud engineer can deploy with confidence and consistency every single time. So let's go ahead and move on over to our Amazon web account. And if you notice, I have clicked on CloudFormation before. You might not have. So let's just go up to our search bar and do our famous search for CloudF. When we click on CloudF, it will be the first one. It will be the first one. Let's go ahead and click it. And once it loads, you might say, oh no, what do I do now? Well, the next thing we want to do is we're going to create a stack. And we're going to need to upload some code to our CloudFormation template. There are two ways that we can do this. The first one is using JSON. The second one is YAML, which is pronounced YAML, kind of rhymes with camel, and it originally stood for yet another markup language. Then it officially became, and this is kind of a tech nerd humor, YAML ain't markup language. So we have several options to choose from. The first one is choose an existing template or build from infrastructure composer. I want to choose my existing template. I created my template. Now I want to upload my template. Before we do that, I will go ahead and show you the code that I'm using. This is the code that I'm using. It's very easy to read. This is why YAML is preferred over JSON in a lot of instances, because it is easier to use. A couple things that I want us to look at it is, what is the description? It is my CloudFlix main S3 bucket. It is an S3 bucket. Our versioning is enabled in case I want to upgrade it down the road, but one of the most important ones is I am using the latest and one of the highest encryption standards, AES 256-bit encryption. Then we have some tags, and we'll talk about tags in a little bit. So let's go ahead and go on. I want to choose my file. I have my file already. It is the CloudFlix S3 main bucket. So let's go ahead and say open, and we should be able to click on next. We don't need to view our in the infrastructure composure. Now we are going to go ahead and go with a name, and I want to use CloudFlix S3 main with 2 hyphens in between, just like that, and then I will click on next. I said that I would talk about tags. Tagging is one of those little details that separates someone who just uses AWS from someone who really builds cloud infrastructure professionally. It helps with billing clarity, security compliance, automation triggers, and honestly, it's just a sign of good cloud hygiene. So for now, I'm just going to create 2. So let's click on this. And the first one I'm going to say is project. The value is going to be CloudFlix because that is the name of my project. And then I will create a second one. I can go back and do more later on. My environment is going to be a production environment. You could say prod or production. I will go ahead and just say prod for now. Again, we can continue to add all the way up to 50. I have 48 more. I don't want to add any more right now. We are going to pretty much leave the rest of these default except for one. But let's look at the permissions. I don't want to change this because I am the IAM user. So I have access to both creating and looking into my S3 bucket and using it. So I will leave this the same. Now, as far as the stack failover, I want to roll back all stack resources. I do want to leave that one as is. But when we come down here to delete newly created resources during rollback, I want to change that to delete all newly created resources. The next I can skip. I'll let you take a quick look at what these are. I don't need to change anything unless I'm in some type of an enterprise environment, which I'm not in an enterprise environment right now, but if I was, I would go in and fill these out. So let's come down here to click on next, and everything is just about set up. I don't need to change anything else right now. Everything is exactly where I need it to be, and I want to go ahead and click submit. I did try to create this earlier using the IaC. It has deleted out, and as you can see, my creation is in progress. So I have created it, and it does look to be successful. There are a couple ways that I can verify it. I can go up here and click on the IaS to go back to my console. I can look at CloudFormation, and my creation is complete. So there I have it. I have created an S3 bucket manually. I don't have anything else to do. That's it. We've securely created our CloudFlix S3 bucket using infrastructure as a code. Do you see how easy that was? And here's the thing about it again. I can create bucket after bucket simply by going here changing a name, and creating my buckets. We also avoided using access control lists because AWS best practices recommend using IAM policies and bucket settings for security. This bucket is encryption, version, private, and fully tagged for tracking, following cybersecurity best practices. Be sure to check out more videos coming up. Again, I do have a major cloud project that I'm working on called CloudFlix, and all of these steps are leading up to that, where we will use IAM roles, EC2 instances, and monitoring tools. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to CloudOpsCentral, and have a good day.